Hey, what's up everybody? So tonight, since yesterday I kind of showed you a little couple of my rods that I used this weekend, I want to kind of give you an overview of all of my rods that I use for different things, from flipping, spinner baits, what I typically use for top water, things like that. And so you're going to see kind of a wide range of different things I like to use. I have 6 rods, which of course isn't that many compared to some of what a lot of people have. Like you look at some of the guys like Lunkers and them have like 20 to 30 rods ready to go at any moment's notice. So get started with that. I'm going to kind of run through them and show you the reels that I have on each one, the type of line I use, and what I use each rod for. So stick around. All right, so the first rod and reel I'm going to show you guys is my 6'6" medium heavy fast action favorite Whitebird. This really has more of a medium type action to it. It's a lighter medium heavy rod. I've got it paired up with let's see, it's a 7-3-1 13 fishing origin reel. I have 17-pound mono on this. And so the main thing I use this rod for lately has been either light spinnerbait pond fishing, or I've got it rigged up for throwing Senkos, weightless Texas rig Senkos. And so this does have enough whip to it, enough action to get the weightless bait pretty far out, so you don't have to use a spinning rod setup if you don't like spinning rods. I typically don't like spinning reels and rods and reels. And so this one has enough whip to it that you can really throw that weightless bait, that weightless plastic, pretty good distance out in the water and still have some pretty good line out to work it back in towards the boat or the bank. So it's a really lightweight setup that I have here. This one's great for pond fishing, just to throw in the car and go. Okay, and then my second one that I use, again, is more of a lighter medium. It's a medium heavy, but this is a 7-foot favorite Whitebird. And this one is paired up with another origin reel. This one is an 8-to-1 reel. And once again, this has 17-pound mono on it. And so this rod has turned into more kind of like a crankbait rod to me, because it has more of a medium action feel to it. So either cranking, or like I used it this weekend, use it for some jigging spoons, for my floater spoons. So I use this for deep water fishing typically. And so I like this one because I can pull it up and let it sit, and I can really watch that tip. And when that tip flicks, typically you know you got something on the line. So once again, this one is 7 foot, so you can really rip a spoon way, you can throw it a mile whenever you have it on this rod setup. There's a lot of whip to it. With that lighter line, I've got there pretty good ways. So these are the two that have they're medium heavies, but they're really lightweight and have kind of smaller diameter, but still plenty of backbone to yank a good sized fish out if you get hold of one. Okay, now we're moving into kind of the ones that I have some heavier work with. So this is it's a 6'7" 13 fishing fake chrome rod. So put that up there close to you. And so this is paired up with a lews Mark Rose reel. So this is one of the first rod and reel combos I ever got. I got this one, I think it was this one. I'll show you the one I got first. This is my second one I ever got. And so this is paired up with 20-pound mono. So this is what I use mainly for Texas rigging or flipping. So I use this for Texas rigs and jigs. And so right now I've got it rigged up with a 1/4 ounce weight, with a 5/0 hook, and a Mondo worm. And so I like to use the shorter rods for flipping and pitching and things like that. I feel like I can control them better than I can the longer ones. Of course, I lose a little casting distance with that. This has a little shorter handle on it, which just makes it easier for me to maneuver when I'm in those kind of close quarter areas. But this reel and rod are one of my favorite setups I've got. I might say that about all of them before it's all said and done. But this reel works great. I've never had any backlashes with this reel. I have with the others, just due to me changing bearings and things like that. Stock out of the box, other than the handle, but it's a great rod and reel combo. Like I said, 6'7", medium heavy, extra fast. A lot of people don't like 13 fishing. I personally love their stuff. So rods and reels. So it's a perfect little pitching and flipping setup with that shorter rod. So okay, and this is what started it all. This is a favorite Defender rod. I got this probably about 2 years ago. Lunkers TV got me really wanting one of these. I wanted his edition of this, but I ended up just going with the favorite Defender. This is paired to just a lews American Hero $50 reel with some lews speed shop custom handles on it. I have changed the bearings out on this. This has the spool high speed bearings in it, so it does it'll whip out the bait there pretty far. But on this I have 17-pound mono, but as you can see it's kind of a darker camo top line, so I use this mainly for, depending on the water clarity, I usually use it for top water baits. So I use this for buzzbait. You can see that in my previous video. Used the buzzbait for just a little bit, didn't catch anything on it, but typically this is my top water bait. And so buzzbaits, frogs, anything like that I'm gonna keep on top of the water, I wanna use this. This is a 7-foot, medium heavy, fast action rod. This is probably my favorite line of rods from Favorite. Between this one and the Lunkers TV edition, the one I'm about to show you. Great flexibility, great backbone, and just overall great rod. And if you put it the right reel, can't really be beat, I don't think, in my mind. So check those out. And I mentioned it, so here is the Lunkers TV edition, special edition Defender. So this one is more black and green with some red, white, and blue accents to it, and this is paired up with another 13 Fishing Origin reel. This one is an 8-to-1 fast high-speed reel, and it does have some 13 Fishing trick shot parts on it to make it look a little, it's got the red, white, and blue highlights to it. I use this one, typically this is my spinnerbait rod and reel combo. This is a 7.6 medium heavy. This weekend I used it with the Z-Man chatterbait, the diesel chatterbait. It's more like a swim bait with a chatterbait head. So I used it with that, was able to catch some fish with it. I also have upgraded bearings in this as well. This is probably my favorite rod I've ever had. I mean, it's just, the detail on it's awesome. I love the combination of the cork and the EVA grip on it. Once again, very lightweight rod, but very, very stout. And then we'll leave the big boy for last. So this is my 7'4" heavy favorite balance rod, paired up with an Origin 8-to-1 reel. Again, you can kind of see a trend here, right? 13 Fishing and Favorite Fishing. So this I primarily use, also use this one for heavier spinner baits, at least ½ ounce. And also it's my, as you can tell, my swim bait rod. And so this one is great. It is, compared to my Defenders, it does feel like a broomstick because of that heavy action. But once you kind of get your casting feel down, you can whip it out there pretty good. And so this thing was great this weekend. I didn't put it down hardly ever. I kept going with this swim bait because it was just doing the job. This is that Biospawn swim bait in that watermelon pearl color I was telling you about. And so, and this has 20-pound mono on it. And so as you can tell, I primarily use mono mainly because it's cheaper and I don't like having to learn how to tie fancy knots for fluoro. And so this also has some trick shop parts on it and things like that, spoil and everything. I love the color to it. But the main thing I like is just that this setup worked really good for me this weekend. And so, like I said, if you like the heavier rods, this is a good one because it does has a moderate tip on it. And so you can still cast out there pretty good. But like I said, compared to my other ones, it does feel like a broomstick sometimes when I go from throwing my Defender rod to this. But this is a great rod and reel combo. 13 Fishing Favorite. It's the best combo I've ever had put together. So, and then I have one thing that I've had sitting on my toolbox for months. I have this 13 Fishing Origin FB that I've had for, I don't know how long, that I've had set up and ready to go with 20-pound mono, some green trick shop parts to it. So it looks pretty cool. I've never used this reel. And so I'm waiting to get another rod to put this on. Hopefully around Christmas time, we'll see. And see if Santa will bring me one. And I can finally use this thing. And so I keep saying I need one more rod, but I think we all say that all the time. Hopefully one of these days this is just the reel that is sitting in waiting to be mounted on something, and waiting to be used. Right now sitting patiently over here on my toolbox, waiting to go. Alright guys, so that is a quick little wrap up of the rods and reels that I use. Typically when I'm just traveling, I'll carry my flipping, my shorter 13 Fishing rod and my shorter Whitebird, my 6.6 and 6.7 rods. Just easier to travel around with. With the rest of those, if I'm boat fishing, I'm taking every one of them. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and you can kind of, if you have any questions about those rod and reels, feel free to shoot me a message. If not, I will see you tomorrow with another video. If you like it, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.